So if you are wondering where you can find this video later, you will find it on our YouTube page, the Entspirational Speaker. So if you ever look it up, make sure that it does not change it, because it will say, did you mean inspirational speakers? And you let them know, I meant Entspirational Speakers. Boom, boom, clap, boom, boom, clap. All right, today is August 26th. Are officially live on our YouTube. Okay, and this so if you are wondering where you can find this video. Okay.
That was ornery.
I know, right? That is very ornery. All right, I would like to now introduce our functionaries for the day. Without them, we wouldn't get better or do well or do good. The first person up to bat is our odd counter / word of the day master, Mike Everson. Give him a round of applause. Take it away, Mike.
I didn't know I was the odd counter, so I got to start counting those too.
Yep.
As the odd counter, I will be checking your ums, ers, ands, os, so's, like, like, and things of that nature. And I will file a report at the end of the meeting. And the word of the day, is ornery, and that is bad-tempered or combative or stubborn. So we can figure out a way to put that into a sentence. I was feeling a little ornery the other day when the timing equipment at the top of Pikes Peak wasn't working. There you go.
Thank you. That's not fair for Sandy to type me something funny right before it's time for me to speak. The next person up to bat will be a grammarian, and it was suggested that the toddler be the grammarian today, but I think in the toddler's place we'll have Sandy. Sandy, what would you do as our grammarian?
If my connection stays with us today, which I don't think it's going to, I will be listening for excellent use of the English language and I'll report on.
Okay. At this point, we will move forward to our timer for today. Who is not with us? Is Miss Janita Lynn here? No. Can I get someone to fill in as timer? Is anyone feeling apt and available to be the timer for today?
This is Marty. I certainly can. Sheila doesn't want to.
Okay.
Well, Sheila's general evaluator.
I'm the queen of timing.
Yes, she is.
No, but you're general evaluator, so I'll go ahead and do timing.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Are you sure about that, Marty? Are you okay? Because you know the queen of timing can handle it.
No, I mean, no, really, that's cool.
Okay.
I got this. I can do it.
All right. I have faith in you. So what will you do as timer?
I will, as timer. This will completely surprise you unless you're a veteran in Toastmasters. You would never guess that as a timer, I will time. I will time people's speeches and their conversations. Really what we're going to be doing is timing Nathan and Nathan's evaluator. Table topics. I'm also the table topics master, so I'll be doing that as well. And I think that's about it. And I will present an award. At the end, I will present a report on how everybody did, give you valuable feedback. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. So we have an evaluator today, our guest, Mr. James Flowers. Mr. Flowers, do you have evaluation resources, or do we need to get that to you? Is he with us? Let me see. I don't know.
I have them on hand.
All right.
I was being a little ornery. I saw a post in which someone changed their name on Zoom to reconnecting, and they actually made their video walk away, so they were able to sit there and not be on the actual Zoom call saying they were reconnecting so they could get away with it.
That is interesting. I wonder who that is.
It was a high school kid.
That's
All
a great
right.
idea.
So if you don't mind looking at the evaluation resource and letting us know what we are looking for in Nathan's speech today.
Yes, ma'am. Toastmaster. Nathan, today I will be rating you on clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, gestures, audio's awareness, comfort level, interest, and how well you research your topic. Nathan, are you ready for your training? Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Flowers. So today, Nathan is speaking from the Strategic Relationships, Level 1, Speech 4, Researching and Presenting. He is to research and present an unfamiliar topic, organize the speech clearly to maximize audience understanding, craft a clear and engaging transitions between main sections of the speech, use and cite sources to support speech content. Now, I did not print out your introduction. I do not believe, but guess what? I have it copied into my clipboard, so I may be able to paste it and read it. And we know that today he has an assistant on stage with him. So please make sure that you give a round of applause for both him and his assistant as he talks about the hardest speech to give. Give it up for Mr. Nathan Frozane.
Thank you, Ms. Toastmaster. I am going to try to do this as well as I can with the toddler. If he interrupts and everything, I might have to leave, and I do apologize for that. So the hardest speech to give is the speech about how to give a good speech. As a self-proclaimed, and not only self-proclaimed, but proclaimed by the rest of the team here, I am, to introduce myself, the Wizard of Oz. So what I have done is I have researched what the use of filler words are, why people use said filler words, and how to help get away from filler words. And I know I've already counted 3 U's. The first thing of research was Harvard Business Review. Harvard Business Review stated how the difference between filler words and the actual grammar of said word is not necessarily a problem, it's just the usage thereof. According to a scientific firm, Quantified Communications, the average of 5 filler words per minute is the local average in 2019 study, with 3.5 seconds of pause per minute. They did state that in their opinion, that is not long enough for pauses. So instead of using a verbal cue said as a filler word, they have said to take an actual pause to help them out. I do apologize on the toddler's orneriness right now. The reason filler words are a problem in speech is because filler words are not made for speech. Filler words, or the verbal pause thereof, are actually made for communication. The reason people say or so they are continuing their thought process, they are continuing their conversation. If you had pauses between 1 or 2 people in a conversation, it's going to sound very off, as well as nobody knows whose turn it is to talk. So the filler word is to continue that conversation so nobody interrupts the other person. Why that being used in a speech is a problem is because unless somebody wants to be so uncouth as to interrupt the speaker, that's probably not going to happen. Hence, pauses are the best. Continued with the research of that Harvard Business Review article, they did state that not only the pauses are good, but if you do use so, like, if you use them sparingly, it's not a problem. It's the fact that people use an average of 5 in a given minute that takes away from the speech, and they lose credibility therein. One of the things that was really interesting to me was why people used the filler words. When I notice a problem in myself, I kind of go back to the, I guess, not Freudian thought process, but his lesser known advocate Adler, who states that it's not your childhood sexual experience like Freudian always went to, but your childhood experience in general that shapes you as an adult for the good or the negative. When I look at a problem I have, I always kind of look at, so what shaped this? One of the things I noticed is in the research, they stated that a lot of people who use said filler words are self-professed middle child, self-professed children that didn't have a voice in the family, children that had a problem with ineptitude. And one thing that I had through high school and going back into time with my childhood was I did not speak. I was not a public speaker, obviously. I did not have the wherewithal to even say 5 words in my whole high school career without shuddering in my own shoes. It's okay, buddy. So one of the fun things about the conversation was when they say people use the filler words to continue the conversation is because they were, in fact, always kind of shut off or told better seen, not heard type situation, if you've heard that quintessential ideal. Knowing that, I have come up with 3 different steps. I and Harvard Business Review and everybody who's ever done any research on a filler word. There are 3 steps to help out. The first one is know where you are. You are speaking at a Toastmasters event, or you are speaking in front of a crowd. You are not in a place where you need to fight for the attention of others through words. You just need to fight through content, vocal cues. We still there? And pitch. The second example is not only know where you are, but assess the situation as to nobody's going to interrupt you in that position. And you can always make a mental pause and a physical pause. The judges aren't out against you. We are here as a Toastmasters community and family to help, not hinder. And the third one is to relax. Take a deep breath. Understand that no matter what the situation comes to, no one's going to die at the end of your speech. Thank you, Mr. Master.
Thank you so very much. And he's right. Nobody's going to die. We didn't die during your speech, neither did you or the toddler. So just give him another round of applause for being dad and Toastmaster at the same time. Was that phenomenal or what? Like, wow. I don't know how you just pulled that off and you just did it. To me, it seemed like with ease, you handled baby and still kept going. Yes, double duty, speech of the year. Yes. That's right. We are a family here and we are here to support each other no matter what is going on in our Toastmaster and non-Toastmaster life. That is what makes us special as a group because we are a tribe and it takes a village to raise a child, right? So that baby is part of our tribe as well. So I'm glad the baby was there and we were here to be aunts and uncles today. So let's give a minute on the clock for any evaluations. Go ahead and send Nathan a quick moment of praise. Give him something that you liked about his speech. Give him something to challenge him. Give him a pat on the back. But give it to him in a private chat right now, and his evaluator will have some time to fill out their evaluation. This is where if my name was Mike Everson, I would do some clever story that has this storyline that makes us wonder what's going to happen next. But I am not clever like that, and I don't have it. So I'm going to give you about
Have you
another
noticed
20 seconds.
he's ornery that way?
Yeah, he is. I'm just going to. You know, I always imagined that honorary was spelled with an H, but it's not. That's probably why it's not used very often. Right.
Minutes up.
Okay, thank you so very much. When you're the speaker, just in case you didn't know, on Zoom, there is an option to pin someone, and it's a good idea to pin the timer so you can know when it's your time up or you're doing great, you're almost there. At this point, I would like to pass this over to our table topics master and timer, Mr. Marty Scholes. Give it up for Marty. Go Marty, Marty.
Woohoo! All right. You bring up a good point. Is it pronounced ornery or ornery? And I've seen conflicting data on the web, which is really surprising because usually on the web, whenever I read something, there's no dissent anywhere. Everybody's in complete agreement on every topic that I run into. I can't imagine why this would be different. Table topics. Everybody here familiar with table topics? James, you familiar with table topics? Yeah, blink twice if you are. Okay, fair enough. So table topics is we have a random topic. It's the idea that we are learning to speak off the cuff where appropriate. You have 1 to 2 minutes. I will pick someone and come up with a topic, and you'll speak 1 to 2 minutes on it. Gives you a chance really to focus on your impromptu skills. And I am going to start with looking at people who do not have a role today. I have a sneaking suspicion we'll have plenty of time to get through everybody. But let's start with Jennifer. Do you have a role?
No, I do not.
You do now. Ha! Thought you'd get away from it. Avoiding eye contact, by the way, is a fantastic way to get chosen for table topics. I've tried so hard. And even if I get rid of my video, they still choose me. So if you duck out your video, that's a red flag. You want to be chosen next. Jennifer, what's the best part about being you?
Notice I cracked my knuckles before answering that question. Admittedly, I'm feeling a little bit ornery today because I woke up not feeling well and I almost didn't join this meeting, but persistence. The best part about being me is that I use a term that I'd like to refer to as in spite of. In spite of not feeling well, in spite of obstacles being in my way, in spite of not being in a place where I want to be right now, I'm happy. Despite that, I'm happy. The best part about being me is that I can still press forward despite all that's going on in my life at any particular given moment in time. And the best part about being me is the fact that I really don't let those obstacles get in my way. There's a cadence, one of my favorite cadences when I was in the Army was called Steamroller. And no, I'm not going to sing it, but I will say it. The lyrics went something like, I'm a steamroller baby, and I'll roll right over you. Oh, you better get out of my way now. And so, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that's part of my personality. I don't let things get to me. I just keep pressing. That's it. Tabletop is master.
Nice. Thank you so much. All right. Who else doesn't have a role? I'm seeing you, Latasha. Welcome back. How are you? All right, Latasha, what do you do to relieve stress?
Ooh, loaded question, because there's been a lot of stress lately. And I would say, thanks to my career as a therapist, I always talk about the sense of humor God has. I mean, he's hilarious when you really think about it. And after I started training and going to school to be a therapist, it seems like everything in my life kind of amped up. And there that training was to kind of support me and give me a foundation. So I use a lot of techniques that I talk about with my clients. Self-care, for me, that includes hot baths, taking breaks when I need them, not being afraid to say no to people. If I don't have it in me, I cannot pour from an empty cup, and I will not try to. And I will tell you no. And I don't have a problem with that. Another thing I do to relieve stress is yoga. I used to do a lot of yoga. My health won't let me here recently, but yoga is a huge stress reliever. And singing. I just laid on my back in the bed this morning for about an hour, just belting at the top of my lungs. It's a great stress reliever, even though my son was over in his room asking me to be quiet. So so those are some of the things I do to relieve stress, and thank goodness I have them. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's see who else we want to talk to. I see that James broke eye contact, so that's my cue to call on him. But James is saying no, he probably doesn't want me to call on him. So I won't.
You're acting kind of ornery, Martin.
Do you not want to participate? Is that what I'm hearing?
Sure, go ahead, Marty. You be ornery enough, so I got to be able to overcome that.
No, you're fine. Seriously, if that's outside your comfort level, just let me know.
I'm very comfortable. My name is Flowers. I can't get more comfortable than that.
Oh man.
What you got?
What's the best decision you've ever made? Please help me welcome James.
Best decision I ever made was definitely chasing after my wife, to have her become my wife, because I think she is so special and so loving, and I want to make sure she knows she's always in my heart forever and ever. And now that I've got those permanent cheese points online and net, no, she wasn't the best one. No, actually, my best decision was actually meeting her, because with her, I've made some major changes in my life. My military was not the best because I joined and I made different decisions. My kids, great as they are, they're not the best, but by having a help me that's there to help me to do things I need to do and keep me focused, and to be that conscience that actually can tap you and look you in the eye and say, stop doing that, I think that was the best decision. And my second best decision was sitting here and making sure that Marty knew I'm always watching him when I'm not on screen. Thank you, Mr. Timekeeper. And once again, you're muted, Marty, so you are not being productive.
Wow, thank you. Appreciate the heads up there. I was talking away. I didn't tell everybody this in the beginning. I want to now. When you reach your minimum time, I'll hold up a green card. When you're halfway between min and max, it'll turn yellow. And then when you've hit the max, it'll turn red. So watch for that if you're not familiar with the protocol there. Let's see, who else do we have who does not have a role? It is our president, Sandy. All right, Sandy, you ready? Do you have a role today? Am I wrong on that?
I'm ready. I don't know if my network connection is ready.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Oh, I'm ready. I don't know if my network connection is. Let's give it a shot.
All right, let's rock. Oh my goodness, I did that, didn't I? Mr. Everson, all right. Sandy, what's your favorite true story that you enjoy sharing with others? Please help me welcome Sandy.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. My favorite true story that I enjoy sharing with others has everything to do with my extremely ornery basset hound. I don't know if people are aware of how smart basset hounds are. I think a lot of people know that they're very food driven. is. She is a smart little girl who knows how to get what she wants and how to make it last over a certain amount of time. I went to Costco and bought a gigantic box of those cute little fig bars that aren't called Fig Newtons, they're called Costco's brand. And when I came home, I was chided by my husband for leaving the box out. And I thought, why would I have left a box on the floor? I'm not the guy that leaves things on the floor around this house. And what we discovered is she had removed each individual fig bar from the box and hid them in different places in the house. I was finding fig bars for a week. She had them in her bed. She had them rolled up in blankets. She had them stuffed behind the laundry. I was finding them in my closet, folded up in my clothing. I found them everywhere in the house. And what makes this my favorite story is that that dog had the foresight, instead of just gobbling up the whole box of snacks, to hide them around the house so they could last her as long as possible. And that is my favorite true story to tell, even if it sometimes makes me ornery. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Sandy. All right, I'm going to defer to you, Madam Toastmaster. You want me to keep going? How do you want to do this?
You can keep going.
Awesome. All right. I think we should limit this to 5 table topics per person. I'll just go in order now, according to who's in the screen. I have plenty of questions here, so we will just keep going. I'm going to invite up our long lost brother, Mr. Michael Everson, to tell us right now, at this moment, what do you want most? Please help me welcome Mike.
That's a softball. Thanks, buddy. I want lunch. I want lunch at Firehouse Subs, and I know exactly what I want. I want their turkey bacon club sandwich, and I want it on wheat bread, and I want them to make it without tomatoes, but I want that sweet sauce that they put on there that's probably horrible for my heart and my health, but it tastes so damn good that I don't care. And that is why I run. So speaking of running, this is the first year in 20 years that I have not run the Pikes Peak Center Marathon. So something that I really do have a passion for is running in the mountains. As you can see, I'm sitting here on the side of a mountain right now. Actually, I'm not, but it looks like it. And that is one of those sandwiches that I love to eat. Because I love to eat it, I have to run up these mountains so I can keep this awesome figure I have. What I would like right now is that sub sandwich, a large iced tea, and a bag of Lay's potato chips. That's what I would like. Mr. Tabletop.
Fantastic. You know what? I'm thinking lunch too. So it's you're a man after my own heart there, and I appreciate that. All right, let's keep going. Sheila, you have not talked yet. You haven't had a chance to use the word of the day, which I suspect you'll be pretty ornery about. I'm going to pick a question here. Oh, here we go. All right, Sheila. What was your last major accomplishment? Please help me welcome Sheila.
Oh, gosh. Wow. What was my last major accomplishment? I guess my last promotion, which was just recent. I got promoted to regulatory compliance counsel. So, but I don't know that I did much to get there. I just kind of naturally, it just happened. And because I didn't apply for it, I think our department has just grown so much that we needed to have different positions filled. So while I don't know that I did a lot, but I did my job that I was supposed to do already, I got that promotion. So that was my last major accomplishment. Thank you, Table Topics Master.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sheila. All right, we're down to two last people who have not spoken on table topics. After that, we'll go into the bonus round, and after that, we'll go into the special double points round. We expect to be done here by 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock today. The next person who I'd like to bring up would be I don't even know how to describe you, Mimi. I mean, there's just too many words here to describe all the amazing stuff you've done. So I want to invite up Mimi, and I'm going to ask you, Mimi, what are you looking forward to in the coming week? Please help me welcome Mimi.
Great question, Mr. Table Topics Master. What am I looking forward to in the coming week? Coming back to Colorado. I didn't think that I would look forward to it so much, but I'm so excited. I just hope nothing happens between now and the time for me to board my plane, because so much has been going on with my grandparents. I am hoping that I can at least come to Colorado at least for a few weeks to give me some Colorado thin oxygen, give me some rock climbing and some hiking, and hopefully see some of my Colorado people live and in person, maybe go have a cigar at my secret cigar club that nobody's supposed to know about. And that is really what I think I'm really looking forward to, that and just sleeping for one day. For one day, I think I'm not gonna nothing. I'm gonna turn everything off. I'm not responding to anything. I am going on vacay as far as I'm concerned, and just going to veg out and just do nothing on purpose. So those are two things that I am looking forward to in the coming week: coming back to Colorado and doing nothing. Thank you for that question, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, I want to call up now a person who's already blessed us with his presence. However, I can see the A team who's helping to carry him in his speeches is no longer with us. Nathan, explain to us, what are you uncertain about? Please help me welcome Nathan.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. What I am uncertain about, I'm uncertain about life. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. I don't know where I'll be in 5 years. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. And I really like that. I think one of the greatest philosophies is to understand that you can't control really anything. And not necessarily the YOLO strategy of just do whatever you want, but do something that means something to someone else in the long run if you're not here. That's how I kind of go with my view of being a father. That's how I go with my view of being a son. That's how I go with, being a husband. I think one of the saddest things is when people are saying, oh, here's my 5-year goal, but they don't know what they're going to do tomorrow to get to that 5-year goal. Not to say I don't have that 5-year goal, but I think actually this Table Topics is really good because I feel like I'm a lot better of a speaker. Gonna mess up the words. That's probably not the greatest cue into that. But extemporaneously speaking, rather than my actual speech that I wrote down and researched and everything. And I think that in life, it's really good to be in that type of mentality where you don't know what's going to happen, but you're always planning for the best. Thank you, Table Topics Master.
Had to find the unmute button there. Thank you so much, everybody. We had some great feedback. I'd like to recap a little bit about who did what. And if you would, be so kind as to send me one and only one, not 0, not 2, votes on who is your favorite Table Topics presentation. And let me start with what we had. We had Jennifer told us the best part about being her. Latasha told us what she did to relieve stress. James told us the best decision he's made. Sandy told us about her favorite story. Mike told us what he wanted the most. Sheila told us about her major accomplishment. And Mimi told us what she's looking forward to in the upcoming week. Finally, Nathan told us what he's uncertain about. Go ahead, put a vote in the box there. I'll tally them up and we'll know how everybody fared. Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster, excuse me.
Thank you so much. That was a great table topics session. It's always fun. It's nothing to fear because it's always fun. It keeps us on our toes. The next part of the meeting is the best part. This is where the gold is. It's the evaluation. And I want to remind us as functionaries that we only get 45 seconds to give our report because sometimes they get a little long and we want to be mindful of time and we don't want the timer throwing something at us virtually. So I'll pass this over to our general evaluator, Miss Sheila Finn, the queen of timing.
I kept notes on our meeting and we all kept everything in time and we all were prompt and I didn't hear too many filler words. I almost said one and we did a good job. I don't know, there was another one. Was there evaluation for Nathan's speech yet? Yes. So otherwise we did good. I don't have any negative things about this meeting.
Yes, folks, good morning. I was the evaluator for Nathan. First time evaluating, so I would be probably stumbling and making some words I shouldn't make happen. So grandmother coach, get me. So I wanted to just give a shout out and a handshake and a wave to Nathan for your composure and how you planned your topic in your speech today. A couple of things, your clarity was very clear. You were had great attention getting voice. I was really feeling I could just listen to you all day and what you're talking about. Your eye contact, I felt you looking right at me the whole time. Like, does he see me? Is he right next to me? It was great. Your gestures, I have great use of your prop, putting him into the picture. That was great use of him. I don't think everybody caught that, but the audience awareness, when you said the word interpretation, and you actually, I'm sorry, interruption. Yeah, interruption was what you stated, and he interrupted right on key, like you tapped his leg or something. I caught that. Everyone's paying attention to you. You look like you well observed, like you really observed and researched your information. A couple things I did pick up. Adapting to your situation, you excelled at that. And your voice, even though it was great, it could be a little louder so we could get more of the tone out of it. And I challenge you to actually do that again, to be able to work with him, with you, because you won't always have him not there, and you might be talking to that $1 billion client, and this is your one shot to work with him. That's all I had to have, Ms. Great Evaluator. It's back to you.
So can we have the timer now give their report? Is that Marty? Please.
Much, Madam General Evaluator. I have a tendency to be a little ornery in these meetings, and I will try not to do that today, to instead be a little more serious. We had some really good work here in keeping within the time. First of all, our speaker, Nathan. Is it Nathan or Nate? What do you prefer?
I've been called worse.
Okay, I can live with that. Nathan, you were 5 to 7 minutes, and the absolute cutoff, at least in contests, is 30 seconds after that. So if you'd have gone to 7:30, that would have disqualified you in a contest. Not a deal here. That's fine. We're here to practice and to get better. You stopped at 7:29, right under the deadline. Nicely done. Nicely done. Moving
Totally
on
on purpose. Totally.
Brilliant. Brilliantly done. Moving on to table topics. All of these are 1 to 2 minutes. So anywhere in that range is just fine. Jennifer, nearly down the middle, 123. Latasha, same, 138. James, you're at 48 seconds. Almost there, buddy. That's good. No, I admire you jumping in. Oh, that was awesome. Sandy, 141, well done. Mike, 116, well done. Sheila, 47 seconds. Mimi, 106. I could see Mimi was doing the Toastmaster stumble until the green card showed up. I was tempted not to bring it up just to see how long she would ramble, but you could tell she was tap dancing. It was brilliant. Well done. As soon as the card came up, she wrapped it up. 6 seconds later, she's out. Well done. And Nathan, 1 to 2 minutes, 158. Nicely done. Everybody, you did very well today. Thank you so much. Madam General Evaluator.
And now the grammarian can give their report. Is that Sandra?
It is. Thank you. Everyone did very well today. I have very little to report here. Nathan, it's not a grammar thing. I just loved how you concluded with no one's going to die. That is really that's the tip we should all lead with everywhere. Whatever it is, no one's likely going to die, especially not from a Toastmaster speech or from saying an ah or an. Mimi, one little thing I caught in your table topic, and I feel like some sort of ornery old school marm even mentioning it, but you're not gonna nothing. It's fraught with peril. It sounds fun, but as the grammarian, it is my obligation to point out that not gonna nothing doesn't put it all together. You're not gonna do a thing would be slightly less incorrect, or perhaps your plans of doing nothing would be slightly less incorrect, but the whole thing strung together is just a bit ornery, if you don't mind me saying so myself. And Nathan, how brave of you to try to say that word out loud, because I have to stop and think, and then people are like, well, she's not speaking off the cuff. She has to sit there and try and pronounce it in her head 3 times extemporaneously. It's a wonderful word. It's hard to say, so very brave to say it. Wonderful job, fellow inspirational speakers. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
And now can we have the report from the Miss Mike Everson, the counter?
We'll do both the counting and the word of the day, since I've got them both here. So on the counter, Nathan, you'll be glad to know that if James joins our group, he will be the Wizard of Oz. Based on today's count, anyway. I had a couple that I counted. Nathan, you had a couple of so's. You had 6 ahs during your speech and 1 during your table topics. And there goes the phone. You also had a couple of parenthetical ones where you were saying the word as part of the speech. So I just put them in parentheses. They were extras, but they were part of your speech. Nathan's baby, on the other hand, had, I counted 13, and it was just you go back up and back up again. Yeah. So you've got a lot of work to do with that kid.
We're working on that.
But in your speech, you said, this is something that parents pass on to their kids. If it's a middle child, this could be a problem. Now you know. Jennifer didn't have any. Latasha had 3. James did a lot. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. You have 1 so, 17 ahs. So he was the winner of the, how many ahs can I get in as a Toastmasters meeting? Sheila had 5. Marty had 1 ah, 2 so's. Mimi had 1. That is the end of the ah counters. And then on the ornery, the word ornery, Sandra, and I may have missed some of these because when we're on here, some people are muted and sometimes I'm not paying attention, but I tried. So I had Sandy with 4, James had 5, Nathan had 1, Marty had 3, Mimi had 1, Jennifer had 1. So that said, it's a good word of the day because it's a word that is not generally used, but can be used. and people used it well. That is all for my report. Back to you, Sheila.
Okay, Marty, can we hear who won the table topics today, please?
Yes. Back to you. Oh, wait, you actually wanted me to say it. Sorry. I thought you were asking if we could do it. The answer is yes. We had a tight voting today. There's a bunch of great table topic speeches. However, at the end, one person edged out everyone else, and that was Nate. Congratulations, Nate.
Thank you very much.
That is the evaluation part of the meeting, and I pass it back to you, Madam Toastmaster, sorry.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Today was a great meeting. I definitely enjoyed it. It's been a lot of laughs today. I think my stomach and my cheeks are hurting from laughing and smiling today. So I want to thank you all for always giving us something to smile about, and we always learn something new. At this point, I would like to pass this meeting back over to our president to do the president duties. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Before we move on, we have a couple of minutes left. Does anybody have any announcements that they would like to share with the club? Something spectacular happening in your life, an event you'd like us all to know about? James.
Yes, I'd like everybody to know there's two major events going on. The Colorado Springs Diversity Council is having an event this Friday. I believe it's 10 to 12 down at Acacia Park. We have Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s nephew will be coming down being our guest speaker. Also this Saturday at 12 to 3 p.m. at Van Geist Park, the Respect My Vote event is going on. We'll be getting people registered to vote. We'll have music, we'll have fun. You have music by DJ Shield. We'll have some spoken word by Miss Rose Gold Poet and others, folks. So make sure you come out there. That's this Friday from 10 to 12 at Acacia Park, and Saturday from 12 to 3 at Van Geist Park. Back to you, Madam President.
Thanks, James. If you want to email that, we can email it through the group too, since I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not great at memorizing things when I'm told them and likely to forget by the weekend. Perfect. Anything else? Going once? Going twice. Your favorite part of the day is upon you, where your Vice President of Education, Mimi the Motivator, encourages you to expand your horizons with a new role in next week's meeting.
Thank you, Madam President. So let's get this party started for next week. Oh, I'm not up for calls right now.
I'm not here.
Yes,
I'm not here.
you're not here?
No.
That
No,
was ornery.
no, you're here. You don't have any choice. What are you talking about? All right, so what I am going to do today is I'm going to do real Vice President of Education duties, and I'm going to see when is the last time somebody has filled a position, and whoever has been the longest is where we'll fill you in. But first, I want to see Mike Everson. Are you going to be here next week? See,
That's a good question, and I don't know the answer.
okay, well, when you find out, you just let me know. All right.
If I am here, I will take some sort of a role.
Okay, awesome. All
And
right.
I may know sooner than later, so we'll see. You know, if I know by Friday, I'll let you know.
All right, sounds good. All right. So Miss Sheila, have you been Toastmaster before? I don't have, let me get this.
No, I have not.
We can fix that, Sheila.